specifically understanding the limitations of AI and also then developing policies that actually take into consideration the limitations. Some of the big platforms, I think in the last 2 weeks, they've made some significant announcements on how they're going to be using AI and specifically how they're not going to be using AI, things like warfare, weaponry, so on and so forth. So when we look at AI, speaking more broadly from an iProspect perspective, we see that as an enabler across all the products and technologies that we deal with. We don't see that absolutely as a kind of a silver bullet in any way, shape or form. And in fact, most of our technologies that we work with right now, either partners or technologies that we develop within iProspect, leverage certain aspects of AI, and the results have been fantastic. I think the limitations that we're running into right now is that one, the industry generally is having a retake on privacy and what that means and what kind of data can we capture. Of course, GDPR has been a proponent of that conversation. But more broadly speaking, I think, paying a close attention to that value dynamic, which is if you're collecting certain information about users to inform technologies built on AI and machine learning, then what's the value that's being exchanged to the consumer, how transparent it is, how can we make that as little friction as possible? That's an area that we're looking into. And speaking to some of the partners and looking at some of the initiatives that we have in the area of AI and machine learning, largely, I think, it comes back to two themes we see across the industry. One, around organization of data. There is a lot of data that brands and agencies try to actually get up to speed with just understanding the nature of those data sets. But when that goes into technology, an AI or ML technology, diagnosing what works and what doesn't work is becoming increasingly difficult. So when we think about how we actually apply AI and machine learning to our businesses, we think about structuring the data, we think about actually how do we understand and measure the changes that we have in our technology. And those are some of the areas we're thinking. So privacy is front and center. Thinking about data organization and how actually that feeds into the technologies we develop is the second one. And not to mention the lack or the challenges that we have from a skill set standpoint, especially given that we are all competing for the same limited amount of brain power there is world over. That's an enormous hurdle as well that we're trying to cross.